This is from Hisar. A big conspiracy has been unearthed to stop the coal supply at the Khedar power plant. 64 logs have been uprooted from the railway track. In fact, this was used to supply coal to the power plant. Sikhs For Justice have now taken responsibility for this incident. The railway track has been repaired and supply has begun once again. So this is certainly seen as a very, very dangerous attempt. Let me just go across to my colleague Sandeep Saini, who's joining me from Atari. Sandeep, मंशा क्या थी और उन्होंने जिम्मेदारी तो ली है, लेकिन उनकी मंशा क्या थी और किस तरह का इन्वेस्टिगेशंस अभी चल रहे हैं? Okay, I'm going to try and get back to him, but just doing a recap, and you see some of the pictures. Essentially, what the Sikhs For Justice, who've taken responsibility for this, are saying is that they wanted to cut the coal supply to the Khedar power plant. 64 locks were uprooted, and the railways track has now been opened up, and supply has been kind of ensured at this point of time, which would have actually meant if the coal supply would have been stopped, it would have been a major power outage. And at this point of time, the Sikhs For Justice have taken responsibility. There has been quite a bit of a concern which has been raised of late, especially in the context of Punjab, where there has been a worry that is this raising its head once again. Let me go back to Sandeep. Sandeep, Sikhs For Justice ने जिम्मेदारी ली तो है, लेकिन उनका मंशा क्या था और वो क्या चाह रहे थे करना?
जी, उन्होंने जो वीडियो जारी किया है उसमें ये कहा गया है कि 15 अगस्त को वो पूरे देश में ब्लैकआउट करेंगे, बिजली गुल करेंगे। जितने भी पावर प्लांट हैं पूरे देश में, उनका जो कोयला आता है उसको रोकेंगे। उसी के तहत जो रेलवे ट्रैक यहाँ हिसार में है खेदर प्लांट पे, उस ट्रैक के जो लोग थे वो हटाए गए हैं। और उस वीडियो में उन्होंने लोग हटाते हुए की वीडियो जारी की है और उन्होंने साफ चेतावनी दी है कि पूरे देश में 15 अगस्त को वो जितने भी पावर प्लांट हैं हिसार में, यमुनानगर में, अन्य जो भी राज्य में है, उनका सभी को मतलब कि कोयला नहीं जाने देंगे और 15 अगस्त को पूरे देश में बिजली गुल कर देंगे। जी,
हमारे साथ मिस्टर हेमंत अत्री is also now joining us. You know, is there a fear and is there an apprehension that the so-called Khalistani or the separatist movement, or at least a particular section, is raising its head to disrupt peace in Punjab, Haryana?
See, Palvi, what has happened in Hisar, it's more of a threat apparently. For the simple reason, yesterday night, the whole night this operation was done, these clips were removed, almost 65 of them. So if at all you are up to something very serious and as big as this scale that they have claimed, Mr. Pannu, that they will be doing it all around the country, he has named at least 20 stations for that. So he would have never come on video and detail all those details, will not be detailing all those details, minor details. Now what I think from this is, they are trying to create a kind of, atmosphere of panic. See, there was an agitation going on in Khedar till yesterday only. Once there was a person who was killed also, who has been, cremated today only. So the thing is, Sikh For Justice is more into, creating kind of panic in this country and less of something concrete in this particular case. Now at 7:40 in the morning, they released this video. You might have seen that. That is with your channel also already. So the thing is, if at all they have to plan such a big operation, they would have never disclosed it in this way. They would never have made it viral. Now, but it is up to the intelligence agencies, Palvi, to see as to what kind of thing that they are planning. Khedar being a soft target, there was an agitation already going on for about a week or so. So this was a soft target. And further, let me remind you one thing. There is one overbridge also in Barwala, wherein they have written Khalistan Zindabad also. You might be having those pictures with you. Now there has been a spray over that, and that has been, written off in a particular way by the police authorities. Now the FIR is going to be lodged, but I don't think that Haryana police will be able to investigate the whole conspiracy behind it, since the, connection is from somewhere in Canada. Mr. Pannu is sitting in Canada. These plates are removed in, Barwala or Khedar or Hisar for that matter. So it's very difficult for Haryana police to get into the whole conspiracy part of it. Intelligence agencies and particularly NIA, they will have to look into it. This is a transnational crime.
But when you say that they wouldn't have said this so openly, don't you also fear that they are actually now getting more and more brazen about it? कि खुल के करेंगे अब जो हमें करना है, daring the government.
Sikhs for Justice had a very active role to some extent in the farmer education also. And during that, they also got some soft corner from many fringe elements all around. Now they are trying to legitimize their position. And if you go by that video, what he has said, Mr. Pannu, 2 minutes and 40 seconds video it is, he is trying to say that we are not against Indians. We are against the Indian state. What do you mean by it? Indian state and Indians are not two different entities. They are the same. So the thing is, the intelligence agencies particularly, they have to get into the crux of it. And he has particularly mentioned at least 20 power plants located at different locations from West Bengal to Maharashtra to Karnataka and to so many Gujarat, Rajasthan and many other places. So this is a, kind of a national conspiracy head from across the borders. So I don't think Haryana police is competent enough to get into the crux of the whole issue. That's my point.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Atri, and thank you very much, Sandeep, for getting